So if you're clicking on this video, you're seeing the thumbnail, you're seeing the title. How does it feel to be a profitable trader, right? I've been talking to a couple of you guys, and we're speaking. It's like, hey, RT, now that you're finally on the other side, how does it feel? How does it feel to know that you are now on the top of the hill and you can see the horizon? It's smooth sailing. How does it feel, right? And so that's what I'm going to be addressing today. So grab your popcorn, your beverage of choice, right? And let's jump right into it. So, I think my answer is going to shock a lot of people, right? When you're in this position, you're doing YouTube, you have a bit of an audience, the way how things are seen from the side of the media, you always want to keep it professional. You always want to, say what's politically correct. And for me, you guys know it's raw. I just let you guys know how it is and how I feel. And, I'm not going to take that route of, hey, I've been trading for a while and, it's such an honor to be able to be, where I'm at. No, for me, to answer the question, how does it feel to be profitable? It feels normal. It feels normal, and I'll explain, right? That might be a bit of a shocker to a lot of people. And so when we dive into it, right? When we dive into it, for me, trading has never been easy, and it's always been a long process, right? It's been a journey, but at the very beginning of the journey, I've always saw the potential, right? I always saw the potential. As soon as I came in the market and got involved, I saw the potential. And, when there's a field like this one, right? And for me, with everything else that I do, personality, right? My personality is a part of what I do. And so who I am as an individual, right? Winning, being, that person that wants to rise above all and be that guy, right? Be the leader, be, in a sense, the shark of the ocean and not the fish in the sea. And that's who I am, right? Mentality, right? Mentality wise, I'm someone who really believes in themselves. And so coming into the market, and working my way towards profitability and finally being profitable feels normal because I've normalized winning, right? I've normalized success, right? Normalized working hard, normalized discipline, control, positive behaviors, positive habits. And so those are the characteristics of a successful trader. And so for someone who came into this field, I was already, I feel like, mentally a winner, right? And so when I, go from being red to green, and it's like coming in, I never really had a thought in my mind that I wouldn't have been able to do it, right? I mean, in terms of just real one-on-one with myself, like, hey, do we think we can do this? There might have been areas where, a few doubts can creep in my mind, but at the end, I'll always remind myself who I am, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so to be here where I'm at right now, it feels normal, right? I've said this in the past, and for those of you who followed me, who've been following me for a long time, you guys know that I sometimes use comparisons to gaming, right? I used to game a lot, and it took me 5 years playing Call of Duty to become a very elite player, right? When I started off, did I think I can't, did I have the thought in my mind that I can't do this? Not even once, right? Not even once. And so with everything that I'm doing, right, I'm just a very competitive guy, man, a competitive person, right? Reminding me, from my childhood and how I grew up. One of the shows, movies that I'd watched, right? Spy Kids 3D, right? Game Over. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. But throughout this movie, right, they're looking for the guy, right? The chosen one, the leader, the guy who can finally beat the video game and save everyone. And for me, I've always looked at myself as a leader, right? Someone who can go above all else and take charge. And so when we talk about, hey, finally being green, how does it feel? It feels normal. Can we normalize good behaviors, good habits, discipline, consistency, um, and not just with trading, right? Not just with trading, but, all around. And so, we talk about, being a good spouse, right? Being a good law-abiding citizen in a sense, of just following the rules, being a good morally prudent person, right? Having all around, discipline, right? And not just in the market. And so when I do get to this level of profitability, being green, being consistent, it feels normal. I have been consistent with many other things in my life. And so, whether sports, like I mentioned, gaming, school, there's been a lot of other things that I was able to be consistent with. And I always knew, right? And it's so funny because in high school, right, I am the guy, and you can ask anyone, I'm the guy that'll go challenge what would be claimed as the smartest person in the class to, hey, the next math test, I bet you I get a higher score. People would tell me, hey, you're delusional. You can't get a higher grade than her. You can't get a higher grade than him. And you know who you are on the inside, right? For you to go take on a challenge like that, right? You have to be confident, right? You have to be confident, you have to be willing, you have to know that you can put in that work also. And that's how I've always been, right? And so, when I get to that level of profitability and I finally cross that line in the sand, it wasn't anything new for me, so and I do want to give myself credit, right? When we talk about, hey, you got to give yourself a pat on the back for at least reaching to this point. I can, look at myself from a third party perspective. Well, no, let's say a third person perspective, right? And, I can really look and see that, hey, I was able to, reach this far, right? You start off, read almost every day. You trade on Robinhood. Robinhood, you saw a little bit of success. You switched over to E-Trade, read almost every day. You finally go to the sim, and that's where you were able to, start to make progress. And so year one, 14K, year two, 45K. Now, in terms of being live and trading with a live account, year three, can we see 80 or 100,000? Is it possible? I think it is. I see the opportunities every day, what the market is capable of. People say the sky is the limit, but when it comes to this field, man, we got to start talking universal, right? Universe, the universe is ever expanding, and in that sense, I feel the market also is. As long as business continue to grow, the economy will grow, the market will grow, and so we'll always see new opportunities, right? And so trading, pushing it to that next level, that's something that I'm definitely, keeping my eye on, right? So when we talk about it being normal, right? I've always been that guy to keep pushing it, keep pushing, keep fighting. And so until we get to that level where we can say we're comfortable, right? And so we've talked about this a lot in the stream. For those of you who've been around for a while, you guys will know that, for me, it's all about, hey, can I reach to my levels, right? My goals, that idea that I have for myself as success, my version of success, right? We'll all have a different version. I want to be able to get to that level where I can say I'm comfortable and I can take my foot off the gas, right? But for now, I'm a young guy. Got to keep pushing, man. Got to keep pushing. It's just who I've always been, trying to get to that level, right? Being very determined to achieve the goals that I have in my head. And once again, how much money is enough money? And so being comfortable for me, lifestyle, and being secured financially, that's where I can finally say, I can take my foot off the gas. Right now, I'm not there. And so I'll keep pushing, right? Keep pushing, keep pushing. So it feels normal, right? It feels normal. There's a couple of quotes that I want to touch on, right? When we talk about, how it feels to make it, right? Sometimes we got to give credit, right? We got to give credit where credit is due. Arnold Schwartz, right, from Terminator, right? Terminator. Um, I saw a motivational speech by him, and he was talking about the art of the self-made man, and so in a lot of ways, right, when we really dig into it, no one is really self-made. We get a lot of help along the way. And for me, I'm very grateful to being in to be in the situation that I'm in right now. To be able to trade and not have to worry too much about you know lifestyle, right? I'm living with my parents, so it's a great thing when it comes to saving, having time to study, having time to put in towards the market, because we know, if some of us are in a tougher situation, right? Maybe you're a little bit younger, you might have to, pay rent or that kind of a thing, and let me just say, grown man's responsibility, paying a mortgage, just more, maybe you might have a child or something like that. All of our situations a little different, right? Some of you guys have families, and so definitely fortunate to be in a situation where I can put in the time with minimal stress towards expenses and that kind of a thing. So definitely grateful. We get into it. We see a lot of these guys, man. I watch a lot of motivational people, and so it's always good to remember we have help, right? So for those of you watching on that are enjoying, right, just know that getting to the other side is a big step. It's a big part of the process, but depending on who you are and what you want to be, it'll determine if you want to kind of just ease where you are or keep pushing to that next level. And so I think a lot of that will have to do with the level of excitement you might feel. You guys know, right? Once again, if I look at myself from a third person's perspective, or even if I just reflect right within, I know what I'm doing is, pretty big, right? It's pretty significant. Here I am. Who am I, right? And I'm one of those 10 people, that are profitable, right? When we're in a room of 10 or 100, and we have to look left, look right, and say, hey, only one of you guys will be here, and who is it going to be out of this big group, right? Are you going to be the shark in the ocean or the fish in the sea? Can you take it, right? It's there for the taking. What I've come to realize is that there is no secret, right? When I look at these bigger traders in the community, whether guys like Tim Sykes, Ross, Steven Ducks, Humble Trader, I mean, all these big YouTubers, a bunch, then the list will go on and on. There is no secret to what's going on here, right? It's no secret recipe. There's no secret sauce. Some people will say, hey, these people are sharing some sort of information with each other that we might not know. But when you start to really get into it, and you are profitable, for me, I'm making $200 a day, and you start to see, holy smokes, I see why a guy like Tim Sykes made how much he did today. We might have took a similar trade, maybe he took 10, 15, 20 times the share size that I did. And so you start to realize, as you can become more accepting of the risks, that the rewards can be bigger, and it's up to you as the individual to choose how far you want to go with it, right? And so there is no secret, man. There is no secret. It's here for the taking. 1/3 of the world's wealth passes through the market every single day. Who is going to be the individual to rise above, to be the leader, to say that I am that guy, I am that gal, and take charge, right? Take what is there, right? And so for me, I've never been the kind of guy that relied on plan B. It's either plan A or nothing. And if I do end up failing with plan A, then I adjust for plan B. I don't go into a new venture and just already have a backup. I think that mindset, some people will like it. It depends on who you are as the person, right? As the individual. But for me, if I go into a new venture and I have a plan B, it means that part of me thinks that I will fail. I never think that I'm gonna fail. I need to fail to then know that I failed, you know? So I go straight into it. You know, I take my time, I do the research, I see the potential, and from there I make the decision. And so, you know, even when we talk about you know, university, right? Leaving school to trade definitely wasn't a easy decision. It wasn't a decision that was made lightly, but only, you know, you as the individual know what it is that you want, and we have to take on the risk, and we have to be willing to accept the result always, right? Because on the other side of the risk, there is the reward. And, you know, can you get there? Can you be that 1 in 10? Can you be that 10 in 100, right? 100 out of 1,000. Who is it gonna be? And, you know, who are you, right? What is your nature? Do you have good characteristics? Have you been building good habits over you know, over the years? Have you been working towards becoming a better person, not just in trading but all around? You know, a lot of people will go to the gym, you know, they'll exercise, they'll work out, you know, working on their physical side, but we got to make sure that our mental, spiritual, and emotional health is also up there, right? We can't just be one-sided. We got to make sure we have good discipline all around. And so, you know, for me, being a righteous person, right, having a good heart, being pure, giving people the benefit of the doubt, you know, going around doing the right set of things. And that's how it is with my trading. That's how it is with my YouTube. Trying to do, you know, what it is that I believe, and not even trying, but, you know, just doing what I believe is correct, right? In terms of just morals, what's right versus what's wrong. And so I take that with me into the market, right? Taking the good habits with me into the market, working on what needs to be worked on, and eliminating bad behaviors. And so that's what it's all about for me. So once again, how does it feel to be profitable? It feels normal. So I've normalized winning, normalized being successful, normalized being consistent, normalized being disciplined. I've done it with school, with gaming, with relationships, with other different things in life. And so for me, this process here is no different. You know, it's no different. I don't think there is a field out there that I wouldn't be good at. You know, I would take my time, I would practice, and practice doesn't make perfect, but it makes improvements. And so we can get better over time, right? We can get better over time. I don't know if there is a thing, you know, such as perfect here in this market, because I see the best of traders having tough times too, having losses, right? I mean, to not have a loss in a year or 2 or 3 years, you know, it's unheard of, right? We all take losses. You know, it's like boxing and saying, hey, I'm not going to get punched. You're going to get punched in the gut. You're going to get punched in the mouth a couple times. And so what do? You know, you just keep going. You keep fighting. You fall down. You get knocked down. You get back up, right? Maybe you recover. You switch up your tactics a little bit, and we keep going. So, you know, that's how it's been for me always, right? And so the market is no different. And I'm going to continue to push to get to that level where I can achieve my goals and finally be able to take my foot off the gas. So for those of you who have enjoyed, which I hope all of you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the community, consider subscribing, right? I have cool videos all the time, such as this one, and I'm looking forward to upping the quality, upping the content, upping the production all year long, just like with everything else, right? It's only up, only up, only up, only up. And so, you know, subscribe to the channel, lots more to come. Check out the Discord, which is the chat room service. It's 100% free on iOS, Android, PC, everything else. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. It's been RT, it's been Relentless, and I am, of course, signing out.